People come to Sukhumvit Soi for one reason, and usually stay for completely different ones. Most of you probably think this street starts and ends with Nana Plaza. But honestly, man, you are so wrong. Because Soi 4 becomes much more interesting once you move beyond it. Somewhere between loud bars, random conversations, late-night food, massage shops, wanderers from half the planet, and just one more beer decisions, this street slowly turns into its own nightlife ecosystem. And usually, the longer you stay here, the stranger the night becomes. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a big fan of Nana Plaza. But after enough nights on Soi 4, curiosity naturally starts pulling you further down the street. So tonight, let's see what really happens beyond Nana Plaza. Now let's get one thing straight immediately. Nana Plaza is absolutely the flagship of Soi 4. Every nightlife enthusiast knows this place. But honestly, Sukhumvit Soi 4 is much more than just Nana. In fact, this entire street works like a complete nightlife ecosystem. And that's exactly why Soi 4 became iconic. Because even if you don't like Nana, and yes, surprisingly some of you actually don't, you can still spend an entire night here without stepping inside at once. That's what makes this street different. You'll find loud bars spilling music into the street, small chill spots where you can just sit with a beer and watch the chaos around you, late-night food spots, expats who probably know every corner here, tourists trying to understand what they just walked into. And if you wander deeper into the darker side of Soi 4, you'll even find ladyboy bars, purely for cultural research, obviously. That's the thing about Soi 4. It tries to cater to almost every type of nightlife traveler. Some people come here to party, some come here to socialize, some just want atmosphere. And honestly, the street changes constantly depending on the hour, crowd, and mood of the night. That's why Soi 4 feels very different every time you walk through it. Most videos only show you the neon, but Soi 4 looks simple at first, until you spend enough nights here. One of the reasons Sukhumvit Soi 4 became so popular is simple. This street gives you completely different types of nightlife within just a few hundred meters. And honestly, that's dangerous. Because people often come here just for one beer, and somehow end up leaving at 3 a.m. wondering what happened. From the moment you enter Soi 4, the street already feels alive. Music spilling onto the sidewalks, street vendors everywhere, bars packed with people watching the human traffic moving toward Nana Plaza. Places like Hillary Bar, Morning Night, sports pubs, Irish bars. They create this strange mix of relaxed drinking and controlled chaos. That's one of the underrated things about Soi 4. People watching here is almost a nightlife activity itself. You'll see nervous first-time tourists, experienced Bangkok veterans walking around like they own the street, business travelers pretending they accidentally ended up here, and groups already making decisions they'll probably regret tomorrow morning. And honestly, if these Bangkok breakdowns help, hit the like button so I know to continue them. The closer you get to Nana Plaza, the denser the energy becomes. The sidewalks tighten, music gets louder, street conversations blend into complete noise, and suddenly the entire street starts feeling like organized chaos. But the further you move away from Nana, the atmosphere changes again. You'll find smaller bars where long-timers and expats sit for hours drinking beer, having the same conversations they've probably had for years, watching the street, and looking completely unbothered by the madness around them. That contrast is what makes Soi 4 interesting. Some people come here for chaos. Others come here to disappear quietly into one small corner bar for the entire night. And honestly, people here are usually not chasing luxury cocktail experiences. They want atmosphere, conversations, interaction. That's really the currency of Soi 4. One beer, one more stop, another conversation, suddenly midnight. And somehow, without even realizing it, you stop walking through Soi 4 and start becoming part of it. One thing a lot of people don't realize about Sukhumvit Soi 4 is that food here is part of the nightlife ecosystem itself. People come here not only to party, but also to fuel up before the night, recover after it, or just sit down for a while and watch the street chaos happen around them. And Soi 4 gives plenty of options for that. You've got small street carts selling grilled meat skewers, fried snacks, noodles, kebabs, basically late-night survival food for people who either just started the night or probably should have gone home already. Then you have places like Hooters Bangkok, which is still one of the best people-watching spots on the street. Honestly, I probably spent countless hours there watching the flow of Soi 4, chatting with waitresses, and observing the entire nightlife chaos slowly unfold in front of me. Good food, cold beer, perfect view over the human traffic moving toward Nana Plaza. Then there's the Mani Bar and Grill, with a slightly more modern crowd and atmosphere, and spots like Checkers British Pub that still carry that classic old-school Soi 4 expat energy. And that's what makes the food scene here interesting. It's not separate from the nightlife. It's part of how the street functions. Because after a few drinks, a quick meal, and one more beer, most people on Soi 4 are usually not going home yet. Another thing you'll notice very quickly on Sukhumvit Soi 4 is how many massage shops operate here. And honestly, they fit naturally into the whole nightlife ecosystem of the street. After all the noise, music, crowds, bars, and walking around Bangkok for hours, a lot of people stop here simply to relax and recharge a bit before continuing the night. You'll find everything from simple foot massage places to more modern massage spots. And that's one of the interesting contrasts of Soi 4. Outside, loud nightlife energy. Inside, quiet rooms, soft music, tourists sitting in massage chairs recovering from Bangkok nightlife decisions. Some people stop for 20 minutes. Others disappear there for over an hour before jumping back into the street again. And honestly, Thailand probably changed how many travelers think about massage culture. Here it feels less like luxury, and more like part of everyday nightlife survival. Sometimes you relax more, sometimes less. But usually after one massage and one cold drink later, people somehow feel much more happy and fully ready to join the chaos outside again. That's usually where the night on Soi 4 starts getting even more unpredictable. Another thing that makes Sukhumvit Soi 4 different is the social side of the street. Soi 4 attracts one of the most international nightlife crowds in Bangkok. Tourists, expats, solo travelers, nightlife regulars, people visiting Bangkok for the first time, and people who clearly never really left. And that creates a very social atmosphere around the bars. You'll see strangers starting conversations, groups mixing together, or people moving from one venue to another together after only knowing each other for 20 minutes. Thai, European, African, Middle Eastern, South American, pretty much every part of the world crosses through Soi 4 at some point. You can start the night completely alone here, and 2 bars later suddenly end up sitting with people from 3 different continents. But at the same time, street awareness matters. Places like Soi 4 naturally attract opportunists too. Over-friendly strangers, random special deals, confidence scams, people trying a bit too hard to become your best friend after 30 seconds. Nothing unusual for major nightlife areas. You just need common sense and basic awareness. This is also why the lazy Nomad telegram exists. Places change fast. One venue gets busy, another disappears. One scam starts trending for 2 weeks and suddenly vanishes again. People inside share updated maps, hidden spots, warnings, and real observations from across Southeast Asia almost daily. And usually after midnight, Soi 4 starts becoming a very different street. So after all of this, does Sukhumvit Soi 4 actually deliver? Honestly, that depends on what kind of nightlife experience you're looking for. If you want polished, luxury nightlife or exclusive clubs, Soi 4 is probably not the best choice. But if you enjoy raw nightlife energy, random social encounters, people watching, street culture, and nights that rarely go exactly according to plan, like I do, then Soi 4 becomes very hard to forget. Compared to Soi Cowboy, it feels less compact and more unpredictable. Compared to Pat Pong, it usually feels more socially active. And compared to Walking Street Pattaya, Pattaya still operates on a completely different scale of chaos. Some people will walk through this street once and never come back. Others somehow end up returning every single trip to Bangkok. And honestly, that's probably why people keep coming back here. Not because Soi 4 is perfect, but because every night here feels slightly unpredictable. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which Bangkok nightlife area has the best atmosphere. And if you want deeper nightlife maps, hidden spots, updates, and nightlife warnings, the Lazy Nomad Telegram is below. Thanks for tagging along with Lazy Nomad. Until our paths cross again in the neon-lit streets of Southeast Asia, keep exploring, but always keep it lazy. Good night, and see you on the next adventure.